Hello, and welcome to the fifth session of Apocalypse Keys, this particular quarterly campaign. And this is the second session of our second mystery titled Till We Have Faces, set in Barcelona. And we started last time with the characters arriving, going through some things, set up. A couple of keys were uncovered, as well as a couple of ticks were put on the doom clock, which we'll come back to in a bit. What I want to do is go around and check in with everybody about their start of session questions, XP, all of those kinds of things. The wraparound has occurred such that Puckett, you are in the first chair today. First of all, did you get an advance or a of any kind?
Shockingly enough, no. I
No.
still have, I think, 2 ticks to go on my ruin.
Okay. And you have your XP question. Which one do you want to do for that?
Let's see. Um, I think I'm going to go with, did you initiate a moment of intimacy with someone weaker than you?
Oh, interesting. I like that.
We have all
Uh,
these humans around.
yeah, they're soft and squishy. That makes sense.
Yeah, they make
Uh,
delicious snacks, nice and
eh,
crunchy and salty.
and then you have that start of session move.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that and what your choice is for that today?
Um, well, as it says, yours is a power that was never meant for you alone to bear. At the start of each session, choose another PC to be your heart and share the burden of your power with. Say why you hope they will save you from what the darkness demands. Um, and I think, considering that he is my chosen, Andish, if you're still okay with this, you're nodding already. So, yeah, Egther will continue to be my heart. And I think Egther is going to save me from the darkness, or at least I hope he will, because frankly, I'm just a really shitty person sometimes. And I think Egther not only makes better decisions than I do, but I feel like he has both more compassion and empathy than I often do.
Absolutely. I look forward to Egther letting you down. So in this. Excellent. Okay. And I think that's all the start of session things that we have to define for you. Let's come to Egther. Egther, did you get an advance or a ruin move or anything last time?
Yeah, I have an advance, and I thought I had already picked it, but I haven't. So I'll do that during the session if that's
Sure.
okay.
Absolutely. What do you want for your start of session pick for the XP question?
Well, speaking of people being soft and squishy, I picked Did you find an innocent target for your grief, despair, or fear? So I'm letting people down, and yeah, we'll
Okay.
see.
And I don't think you have any other kind of start of session pick thing, do we? Okay. That will bring us to uh, a Weeper. Weeper, what did you get an advance or a ruin move last time?
No advance or ruin move for me,
Okay.
and I've chosen for my starting XP question. Uh, let me find out. Uh, Not there, not there. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, here. I need to protect someone pure and beautiful.
Okay. Excellent. And a nice swap from the others in terms of their picks. And I don't think you have any other kind of start of session picks, right?
Nope.
Okay. That brings us to Serial. Serial, did you get an advance or a ruin move?
Yes, I filled up my XP with an overflow of 2, and I took a division move. And it is the division move called, I've put it down on row 107, honorary human status. As
That's
a
right.
whole, I am recognized as being at least partly famous. Um, when you take this move, answer at least one of the following questions. So you may want to ask me those questions. As I say, it's down on my sheet on about row 107. Because I wanted to bring it because it was all the way down the bottom of the sheet and I kept going back and forth. So I've moved it up.
So 107 here. So like which of those questions do you want to answer? Let me ask you this first. Are you imagining that this is something that you've done? You have a real thing that you've done, you've established a fame, or is this more of a like this is not just an aura that you project around yourself?
Oh no, I think that I am kind of the poster boy for division.
Okay.
I can't but think of Hellboy, and there's that FBI assistant director who kind of does the difficult interviews. And I think Suriel, because he's darkly handsome, he can be charming. He's just ideal. So I think I'm a significant kind of social media presence for division. But then, do people know division exists?
So I think that we've established that people know that division exists, but I think the level of what people know or are willing to acknowledge about what they do is a little more questionable. There's a lot of denial that's going on in this.
Of course, and that's part of my role to provide a human face for division.
I like that. You don't have any other kind of start of session picks, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. What did you choose for your XP trigger?
This time I keep looking where XP is, and it's not there. It's further up, isn't it? There it is. Did you taunt or seduce those who would seek to destroy you?
Okay. Taunting is certainly in your wheelhouse. So that seems right and proper. So last time you were tasked with heading to Barcelona, to Saint Renata University there in Barcelona. We described it, the campus, the old style block campus. It's kind of split across a street. There's a tunnel that runs between it. There's a cathedral there, the Cathedral of the Blessed Cross. There's some courtyards and things like that. It is a real university campus there. There have been a set of killings, deaths, murders, unclear, that have gone on that all share the common faculty that after the bodies were found, shortly after, the bodies disintegrated into flower petals. There are 3 deaths, one a student, one a director, a film director who was here for the arts and film festival that's going on at the university. And then the most recent one is a returner. Returners being people who were taken by various supernatural forces, harbinger-like forces, to other worlds, to other places, and held there for a time before they managed to escape or were sent back or whatnot. And this university has an institute that deals with the not repatriation, but deals with the trauma that leaves on people. They have mentioned that they have 4 patients, though one of them is one of the victims, so they only have 3 currently. That is overseen by the church representative who you met last time, Father Oscar Murata, who Weeper managed to create a strong bond with. And also you met Chancellor Solares, who is essentially the university sort of academic side, who met and kind of seemed excited to meet all of you. In the course of this, you kind of came in through the cathedral and met there. There was the animation, summoning, something of a thing that looked like Saint Renata, that essentially before it kind of I'm assuming returns to its state, gave you a vision of things. So you received that, Suriel, that vision of a fallen city with you held down, tied down by vines. That tied in to a vision that we established for your contact, Natalie, who is here on site. She is not left yet, but she's going to shortly. At least that's the intention. She is a former oracle who lost her powers, who has a harbinger bound up in her soul, such that when she dies, it will explode out. And they have a life alert bracelet for that on her, and various binding spells. The two keys that you found and the context of them were you found through this vision that Suriel got of Returner's last moments. You saw what you suspect is Carlos Sastre Luis, his vision, because he died in front of the church, and you certainly saw that. And when he had collapsed to the ground, someone put a bouquet of weeds in front of him. The other thing that was found that was sort of unusual is when Lissa and Egther went outside, they found some discarded spare change, but oddly amongst them, a coin from Andalusian Spain from the time before the Reconquista that seemed to have some significance. Our mystery facets are the Harbinger, the Door of Power, these floral deaths, and the status of those returners. Those are the sort of the mystery things that we will link things up with. Our complexity is 6. We have 2 keys towards that. Doomsday Clock. The 2 ticks on that. One of those was that vision that Suriel had. The other one is the incident that happened at the very end of the session, which was people streaming out of a showing of a film and having an inexplicable sense of disgust, repulsion, unease, like different mixed emotions, but like Tower of Babel, like unable to agree on what they saw in the film. And before that could get out of hand, Lissa used her powers to essentially create a stellar sky show to make it look like that was part of what was going on, and to draw their attention to that and kind of break the tension that was occurring there. So again, your goals are to protect the returners, but also, more importantly, to find out what's going on with these murders. These are both things. They would also like a minimum of disruption to the campus if possible, though they understand, Division does understand to some degree who you are and what is happening. What I'd like to do is imagine that we take up like after dark has fallen, making it perhaps a little easier for some of you to move about, but kind of a regrouping after that incident, maybe another hour or 2 later. As you look out, I mean, the quad that's out there is illuminated. There are people moving back and forth. You can hear music maybe coming from across the street. Maybe there's a band playing, and students are there. And there are people going to, looks like some lectures, but also some more film showings. Like they've cleaned that theater up for the next one in the series there. So I'd like to kind of take up with the 4 of you together, maybe having a chance to discuss next steps. The Chancellor has put herself at your disposal. You can given you her phone, so you can call her. Father Murata is here. For the moment, he does have to go and check on his charges at some point. And Natalie is waiting for confirmation that everything is set so that she can depart. So we come to here. After that, Lissa, what is your attitude? Was it you're saying? Was going on here in this meeting? You were fairly successful in controlling your powers, and using it to keep chaos and damage from breaking out.
Yeah. So quick question about mechanics. With conditions, do we have to select them in order?
No.
Okay.
No.
In that case, is it okay if I change the condition that I have marked from despairing to vicious?
Sure. Where did that come from again?
That's a heck of a good question, and I don't recall. I think it was because I over succeeded on a move.
Okay. So what do you think that viciousness stems from? How do we see that's on screen?
These are civilians. These are not people who ask to be part of this. The last job, everybody signed on for that. They all knew that, one of these days things could go horribly sideways and that it could be the end of them. But even though I'm about the same age, these are kids. They're just trying to go about their studies and play beer pong and, hook up with people. They didn't ask for this. And I want to know what that movie was that made so many people freak out. Because whoever played it, I would like at least one word, probably several. None of them kind.
Okay. So you still have we see that as a kind of a simmering anger over that incident. So again, like, what are you saying to the group?
Whoever made that movie, I want them. Just me. I just want to have a few moments alone with them, with nobody watching and no cameras.
You want to biblically have them? I'm going to take 2 for being petty there.
Okay.
I want to have them as soccer hooligans would have them. Excuse me, football. I forget.
Okay.
I'd like to reach into my coat, take out a program for the Arts Festival, and grasp a key with respect to the film.
All right. That's an interesting idea. Let's have you roll. How many tokens do you want to spend for that?
I want to spend all 1 that I
Okay.
have. I kind of burned them fast last time. Expect me to be really unpleasant to people shortly. So 2d6 plus 1. That is a 7. Oh my.
Okay. Here's the question.
Oh.
Do you want to burn a bond, or do you want to mark a ruin to uncover the key?
I think I'll mark a ruin to uncover the key, because
Okay.
the idea of not succeeding is simply not on the table.
You will see that it is a film that was supposed to have someone speaking about it. There's supposed to be a speaker, but because they're not here, because they're dead.
Salvador Ordonez.
Yes. You will see that the film itself is called The Calling, but there's essentially, for the film description, there's a new film from Salvador Ordonez to be discussed afterwards, and know like exactly what it was. Uh, 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 but you'll kind of flip and you'll see that there is like a mimeograph page that has been stuck in here. It's clearly written by the woman who is running the film festival, Miss Coro, and it describes a film, uh, and clearly she's working from some notes and she's trying to summarize it, but basically it's uh, uh, kind of a mythic story about an ancient god who crosses paths with other religious figures, and then is undone by one of his followers, and then wanders the earth like the wandering Jew. And it has this weird sort of like sketch metaphorical tale.
Um, there's nothing in here. Fold it up, put it back in my pocket.
Yeah, so you may mark that in is a film apparently about you, or loosely metaphorically about you. Egther, you see that Lissa is upset, uh, uh, and this has gone on. What are you? What do we see you doing? What are you saying?
I think Egther is quite, he's withdrawn here. I think he's not quite used to being around these big crowds so much.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, the movie theater, there was a lot of people, and Barcelona is a big city. There's a lot of people, so he's, yeah. Um, he,
Father
and with my,
Murata,
sorry,
like you seem a little upset. Father Murata will come over to you, and again, you can tell that you make him nervous. Again, we discussed that you have that aura of so on, and he will say, "Is everything all right? Do you need some time by yourself?"
I don't even look at him. I think I'm like scratching down between the ears, and my troubles are beyond uh, your ken, little human.
You are not the first person to say that to me. That is a very common refrain of the people that I work with.
Uh, I think now I do look at him, uh, and because part of my look are these eyes that contain a galaxy, and I kind of uh, let but my human mask slip just a little bit, and uh, you should know when not to push someone who is beyond you.
And he will nod, and he will step away, will not push further. I assume you weren't trying to like reveal your heart or push that hard on this.
No, no,
Okay,
no,
all
no,
right.
not that hard.
Okay. Yeah, no, so he will back off, uh uh caught between that impulse that has made him a psychologist and a priest, and his now more abundant fear of you. Weeper, what about you?
I'm going to turn to Lissa and ask if I can have a look at the coin.
I will flip it to you, and it spins in air as it arcs in your direction.
I will snatch it out of the air and shove it in my mouth, and I will start chewing the coin. Blood will start trickling down my mouth and onto the table in front of us. And I would like to use a move.
Okay.
The better to eat you with, my dear. I'm going to reflect on the key, what it has uncovered so far.
Okay.
And it allows me to feed on an aspect of the key. The keeper then describes how my body violently changes in response.
Okay. So that is not a rolled move. So I think that when you do that kind of step away and chew on that, immediately you will feel a burning start inside you, like a little furnace burn inside of there. And it kind of moves and courses through you. And you'll feel this sensation of your maggot body incinerating and immediately being regenerated in a kind of a weird burning fire worm cycle that goes through you. And I think Suriel, Egther, Lissa, you will see Weeper start to glow from within. You get 2 questions.
I will mark lustful
Okay.
as the condition. There's one pretty much you should always pick there. How does my blood purify the key and lead me to another?
I think that you will spit the key kind of out, and when you do kind of spit it into your hand, you can see that there is like just a delicately carved map, like, and you can kind of make out that it is a map of the campus, and there is a tiny little like burnt through pinprick hole that is the X marks the spot for that coin.
Superb. And I think the other question is what do my teeth tear away to reveal someone else's hunger? I've not got a clue what the hell that means, so I'll kick it in your direction, Lol.
Yeah. I think that you can taste that there's like held on to this key, to this coin, is some magic, is a spell, and I think that you will taste this glamour. There is someone here who has magically disguised themselves to hide and conceal who they are, and what they want. And you can taste their kind of hunger, which actually reads a little bit more like loneliness but you will taste that. Like this key was kind of a material component in whatever that enchantment, that spell was.
I will tell my colleagues around the table as I pass the coin back to Lissa, still covered in spittle and blood, that I think we are after somebody that has magically disguised themselves and somebody that is quite lonely. That's what the coin tells me. I will then say to Lissa, you seem slightly preoccupied and annoyed. Is that true?
You could say that. And by the way, you can keep the coin.
Excellent.
I don't need it back. It's yours now. It's an old rule. Once you put something in your mouth, it's yours. It's a playground rule, but it still holds true into adulthood.
Who would have known? That's why people keep giving me coins. Yes, well, if you are quite annoyed, Lissa, could I suggest turning to a priest for confession? It's worked for me on many an occasion. And I would like to, I'm going to reveal my heart by saying that I find confession very useful when I'm quite annoyed.
You could suggest that. I could also suggest that you fuck off into the sun with that shit.
Well, let's stop here. We've got a move that's triggered.
Yep, gotcha. Sorry.
So let's put that into the context of how that rolls out. How many darkness tokens do you want to spend, Weeper, who needs to change their name in Zoom?
Oh yes, damn! I'm going to pick up this up.
Usually, you're pretty good about that.
Yeah. Let me just do that. Can't do two things at once.
Sure. Not on a Mac, anyway.
Weeper. There we go. Okay, so I will spend 2 darkness tokens.
Okay.
Let me quickly find the dice room. Sorry for that. Dice room, here we go. Slight wait. So 2d6
okay.
plus 2, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Can we raise that any higher?
You'd have to spend 2 bonds.
Mind
you, one of your options on the 8 to 10 is to get a bond back. So,
have I got 2 usable bonds, really? Well, I could encourage Egtha and Suriel to assist me with, that may be a good idea to seek the counsel of a religious person.
Yeah, so you're kind of looking to them and like trying to draw them in on this. Okay.
And Suriel will nod sagely.
Okay. Mark those 2 bonds.
Speaks a lot of sense.
I have removed those 2 bonds. So yeah, that is now an 8.
So you get the first pick of those 4 things. You get to choose one. You kind of spoken your piece. What would you like to?
I'm going to clear a condition.
Okay. Like you shake off that lustful to refocus. Okay. I got the impression from what you were saying, Lissa, that you were not choosing to deepen the connection further. Is that the case, or do you want to look at that a different way?
I really want some darkness tokens. So
That
Clear
definitely
one,
feels
really.
like that response back, uh, is embodying your vicious
But
or overwhelmed by the moment. Like I think that either one of those would be a good uh, axis to work tokens on.
I also don't want to negate the move.
Well, no, the move's already occurred. It's a choice for you
Okay.
now. You have a choice, and it sounded to me like because you get a choice as a PC. Do I accept this connection or do I reject it? And it sounded to me like you were rejecting it, and that seems fair. And I think you
Yeah.
could easily generate darkness tokens from that.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and generate 4 darkness tokens because I in the circumstances, Lissa's being a shit to somebody who's revealing their heart,
Mm-hmm.
um, and lashing out in a way that honestly is kind of inappropriate to. I mean, not even kind of inappropriate. It's an inappropriate way to deal with a team member,
Right.
and she'll probably feel guilt about that later. But that's a problem for later, Lissa, not right now, Lissa.
So you respond back angrily. Do you want to finish out what you were saying, and then we'll check in with Suriel and Ecther?
Um, I'll just go ahead and say what I said. You know, um, you could suggest that. You could also fuck all the way off into the sun with that bullshit.
Your loss, not mine. It was just an offer. Nothing ventured,
Suriel?
nothing gained.
I'll tell you what, the next time I find a coin, I'll just kind of toss it to you first. How about that?
Excellent. 2 coins. Who can complain?
Uh, Actually, before I come to Suriel, I just want to put a meta. So I've put a TBD on the key list because you have a map to that key that you will follow up on. So that's in there. But Suriel, what's your take on this? What's your reaction to this? Natalie is kind of like now, like
Yeah.
clearly, I would like to go.
Yeah. Nat, your work here is done. It's lovely to see you. Thanks. Bye.
She'll say, I will be at the Hotel Calonia downtown. Uh, so if you need assistance or anything, just call me, and I will I will see what I can do. It was nice to meet all of you, uh, uh, and she will
Ciao.
she will head off to go catch her Uber.
I'll walk her out because that's the polite thing to do with an old friend.
She says, there are a lot of people around here. Like, there's a lot of potential collateral damage if something goes wrong here.
Yeah. We are aware. I'm trying really hard not to light the fuse, Nat. But you know me, you set it up, I'll kick it.
He is very young and very easy to set off. You're above that. Uh, your your machinations are more sophisticated, or at least should be.
I think at this point I am torn between my nature, my monstrous nature, and my human heart.
Absolutely.
You bitch, Nat.
So what do you want to choose for that?
I think this is Natalie. It's night. I think I will let my monstrous nature show. And this may be the first time that we get to see Suriel without the glamour up.
And she'll say, there it is.
Look, I am what I am, and and there's some weird shit here that seems to be about me. And I get the program out and say, read that and tell me that isn't me. And then Weeper is getting visions of a fucking coin that talks about people covering themselves up. Why do you think I cover myself up, Nat?
He was not talking about you.
Oh yeah. It's always about you. It's never about me.
No, I think in your mind it's always about you, but uh, you have something you want from division. Keep your eyes on the prize.
You should go.
Yes, my Uber is here.
And I back into the shadows.
Okay.
I've just filled ruin.
Just filled ruin. So once you fill ruin, you get to clear that ruin track and immediately make a pick.
I have one in mind.
Okay.
It is the ruin move, I will rise again. This is not the first time you have fallen. You will claw your way back. Reclaim glory and power. When you secretly work towards reclaiming your glory and power, mark one ruin and choose one step of the plan below and strike it out. When you do, the keeper will choose a consequence from the next list. And there are, I think, 9-10 steps to me rising to my proper position again. It's down there on row 174.
It's like an Al-Anon program, but for monsters. The 10-step.
Yes, to reconquering Godhead.
Yes. All right. Let me come back. Edgar, you've witnessed this. Suriel takes your contact off to send her off. Father Murata is going to, I think at this point, excuse himself. Lyssa still looks upset. Weepers, you're not sure how much he's, being sincere and honest, and how much is pushing buttons. I mean, I don't know what is your perception of Weeper? Why do you think Weeper said that? Do you believe he's sincere in his beliefs?
I mean, he's not quite as prone to pushing buttons as Suriel is, but he's not above a jab here and there. That's absolutely clear. So I don't think I believe he's sincere, but honestly, I don't really care. I'm just these petty squabbles. It's just tiring right now. Just these humans, almost humans, yeah, they're annoying right
So what do you want to do?
now. I'm going to Hector stands up, looks at that map with the because that was visible to everyone, right?
Yeah, I think so. Weeper, is that okay? Okay.
Cool. Uh, just glance at the location and then say, my people, I carry my people's knowledge of glamours and disguises, and then he catches himself before saying something about loneliness. He does not say that, but those words hang in the air. I will seek out. I will go out and see what I can find.
Okay.
And
So requires kind of walking out onto the quad, heading out. Uh, there's the walkway tunnel that leads across. I think that's probably to your preference. It's kind of underground and has that feel to it. There are people coming back and forth, and it is one of the things I think we see you. You don't fill the hall, but to everyone's perception, you do, and people like give you wide berth as you go over onto the quad. There are people sitting around talking. There's food being served. There's the small band that's playing and things. This is kind of the other parts. You can see they've got uh, like an exhibition of pictures and things like that. And you will see this guy who is standing there. He's seated. He's kind of chatting with some of these students, and I think there's a moment where like they kind of he slaps hands with one of them to kind of greet them and stuff, and you can tell that he's transacting with them. But the thing that draws you is that uh, he, to your eyes, glows slightly like Weeper did when Weeper consumed the coin.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can I go straight to grasping keys here? Or do I need to
Well, do you want to do you want to contact him? Do you want to get some context here before you do that, or what? It's up to you.
yeah, that's probably wise. Um,
Do you want to observe, or do you want
yeah.
to go and talk to him?
Yeah, I think I want to utilize my time distortion, power of darkness,
Okay.
to kind of I think Egther he he kind of visualizes the path that this person has moved through the city where he has been, maybe even to some extent where he is going. Not like an exact vision, but uh, more like reading the strands of fate or something like that to try to see things about.
Sure. I think that we will see like time slow down and freeze. Like I get that visual. We've got that camera thing where the camera kind of moves around and the bird just caught in air and that kind of thing. Get that. And I think you'll visualize like the after images a little bit like the professor had of that going back. And they go out, and the thing that gets you is that they go back and back and back. They go on. They go on, and they wrap around and they go everywhere. And then they are ancient. They this person is not human. He is of the old times. And I think the thing that will strike you is that as that is going on, you'll see that figure. Everyone else is held still. You'll see that figure very slowly turn and look at you.
Yeah, cool. Um, uh, oh, I just wanted to note I did pick my advance. I
Okay.
took the come on tough guy move from the summoned playbook because that fits so well with how I acted with the previous harbinger. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Um, hmm. I think I'll just step up to him
Okay.
and um, I think I'll just show that I'm not scared of him. Like time goes back to
Okay.
normal, and I just walk up to him, kind of trying to provoke him to see how he acts.
Uh, he stands up. he has a big grin on his face. Uh, and he, kind of marches to meet you halfway, and he says, "I'm Adek."
Sorry,
Well,
did you? Well, he said his name.
my name is Adek. Adekina. Well, there are older names for me, but that is. Well, I thought you were all gone.
We are, except for this shadow.
But you're not dead.
Not yet.
Interesting. Interesting. I am the last Ifrit.
I have heard of your kind. I don't believe I have met one of you before.
So many, so many were harvested. So many were consumed. So many were swallowed away. I think, and some of us did horrible things to survive. And that is why I'm here.
Seems to be a common fate for those of us from older times.
True, true.
I think kind of. I think I'm revealing my heart here.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that move, resolve that, and let's get that, and then maybe we'll take our break and then come back and get back to the others.
Yeah.
How many darkness tokens do you want to spend?
I have so many darkness tokens. I think. Let's see. Yeah, I kind of want to engage with the torn between thing. I spent 3.
Okay.
So 2 dice, 3. That's a 13. So let's see what that does. And plus, you have a moment of closeness, but also weakness. Ask each other, how do I scare you at this moment? Um, yeah, I think what scares me about this Ifrit is that one, he is perfectly willing to tell me who and what he is. And he directly tells me that he's done terrible things to survive, and he seems fine with it. And to me, that makes him dangerous and alien, and I envy him terribly.
Uh, and uh, I think that, and for an NPC, I don't think this really kind of matters, except for the scale is there is something that he has done that's bad that he does not want to talk about. That all of this openness and honesty is to hide the fact that there is something that he wants to hide, and he's afraid that you're going to dig into
Mm-hmm.
that. So you may reset your darkness tokens to 4.
Right. Yes. Cool. So that means I don't trigger the pull between, right? Torn between. because after the move, I don't have more than 4.
Correct.
Cool.
But you are at that edge of that.
Yeah. I'll get there.
We're going to take our break here. When we come back, we'll start with Lissa and then go to Weeper. We still have the actual discovery of the key that's pointed to for Weeper that's out there, and then if other investigative keys on this site. But let's take 10, and then we will come back. Good, Lissa. You have pushed Weeper away. He's moved back, given you your space. Suriel has seen Nat off and come back, and I think probably as he's coming back in, maybe we see him shifting back to hot Suriel, right? As you return, and Egther is headed off. Clearly, also up in his own thoughts. What are you doing, Lissa?
So, Suriel, the filmmaker's dead. The one who made the movie that upset all those people. You're a god, right? You're muted, Alan.
Yes.
I wonder, would you be willing to do me a favor?
Possibly.
Could you summon his soul from whatever hell it went to so that I can see him off properly? I feel as though there was a missed opportunity there.
Yeah, no, I wish I could help, Lissa. But I have to have some idea where he is. You know, Renata, saint, easy. Where he is. Now, if you could do a bit of background, you know, did he have any confirmed religious faith? Maybe some references from whoever was his religious counselor, if he had one. That would narrow it down. Then I'm your man. Oh, God.
And you wouldn't have a problem bringing him back knowing what I want to do to him, would you?
It's not really any of my business, is it?
All right, then. And I'm going to smile, and I don't think you've necessarily seen this smile on Lissa before. It's very much a wicked smile. Just like one of those smiles you see on the face of a horrible person thinking about doing something even worse. So I'll see what I can dig up. No pun intended.
Don't you get flirty with me?
How is talking about digging flirting with you?
Oh, I saw the look in your face.
Oh, Suriel, that wasn't for you. I just had a happy thought. I think I'll go ahead and take 3 more darkness tokens for vicious.
That does seem like that's the direction that's heading. Absolutely. Weeper, what are you up to now?
So looking over to where Egther is, does it look as if he's squared up against this other bloke?
So we'll assume that you kind of got your maggot hoodie up and have kind of wandered over there trying to keep to the shadows, and we passed over and at first it looks like maybe like Egther certainly approaches with a certain degree of let's get it on there, like but this guy kind of stops him and is talking generally more effusively, and it feels like maybe that is dialed down a couple of degrees. They are certainly talking.
Okay, this guy that he palmed something off to,
Mm-hmm.
is he nearby?
Yeah.
Very well. I would like to use my haunting aura to put the bejesus in this guy to run away. Maybe even drop what he's been palmed.
That seems fair. Let me kind of wrap that up into the key that you kind of have owed to you. Does that seem fair?
Seems fair.
Uh, I think that uh, this guy will uh, be startled, kind of terrified, and drops this thing and moves away before like realizing it, and then kind of gets lost up in the crowd. Uh, uh, and you'll sweep your hand down and pick it up, and it's actually a contact lens container. One of those ones with the
Yeah.
two unscrewed things. And you will open one up, and the liquid is kind of pearlescent,
Yep.
pinkish. The actual contacts that are in there have kind of an oily, like how the color of the on gas, that sort of weird rainbowy iridescence. It has that look to it, but still kind of looks like gasoline. But the smell is floral, which is weirdly
Ooh.
strongly floral.
I will, in my head, think clearly plants are, people have died and turned into plants. So I will make a mental connection between the two things.
So you may add that contact lens container as the key that you uncovered there. Once you've done that, what do you do? Do you want to interrupt Egther and Adek? Do you want to continue to observe them?
I will continue to observe, ready to act.
Okay.
If it all goes Pete Tong.
Let's come back to Serial, and then we'll come back to you, Egther, with this conversation. Serial?
Okay.
Yeah.
So Lissa, back to business. Okay. We are on a case. Now I know Weeper suggested you might want to visit a priest. I think it would be helpful you visit a priest just to see what the father knows. You know, you do the priest, I'll do the dean.
The
What do you say?
dean, the chancellor?
Chancellor.
Surreal, I wanted to do the chancellor.
Okay. You prefer it go that
Wait,
way?
you're talking about asking questions, aren't you? I mean,
Yeah.
never mind, same difference.
Yeah.
So I'll take the
just
chancellor, you take the priest. One
fine
god
by
to
me,
another
Alyssa.
type thing.
Anything to kind of, maintain an even strain, okay?
I will do my best not to I'll do my best to leave everything as close to the way it was when we came here.
Yeah, we'd like to end better than with 3 bodies. Turn to flowers. Just, division's objectives.
How do
Protect.
we get better than that though? I mean, they're
Well,
already dead. I mean,
yeah,
obviously
yeah.
not adding a fourth is preferable.
Yeah, I settle for that. No more bodies, Lissa, okay? Good.
No more
Deal?
bodies that turn into flowers?
No more bodies. We don't want any bodies. It's a big city. We don't want any bodies.
Okay.
You know what?
So,
remember the briefing. As
look,
low and discreet a presence as possible. Yeah.
okay, I'll try.
That is all division can ask.
So you say.
Hey, I'm just thinking about the next debrief, okay? I'm thinking hard about the last one.
I mean, how are you supposed to make an omelet if how are you supposed to make like what's the saying, omelet breaking eggs type thing? I mean, how are you supposed to make some buffalo wings without breaking some wings?
Look, Lisa, hard truth, okay? Division is here to make things better. Sometimes it really gets under my skin, but that's what they're for. We are here to help them do that, okay? I think I'm revealing my heart.
Feels like it.
How many tokens do you want to spend?
That's an interesting question because I don't have any. I think that I am thinking what my fans would be thinking. So I'm considering a bond with my fans just to kind of make this go well. But I'll just roll 2d6 flat.
Okay. Let's have you do that.
That's a 9.
Look at that.
That is a sweet spot.
So you do speak with a certain amount of truth that carries. You get to choose one. What do you want of those 4 choices first? And then we'll come to Lissa.
I think that I am trying to build a bond with Lissa Starkweather.
Okay.
Maybe what Nat said to me struck home more than perhaps I'm prepared to admit.
Are you responsive to that, Lissa?
This is different from Suriel. So,
I mean, from Weeper?
well, I mean, this is different from Suriel's normal behavior.
Okay. Okay.
Trying really hard.
Yeah. He's less of a dick today. So yeah, I think it does. I think I'm learning something important here, which is that mass destruction isn't always the answer. So I'll mark an XP.
Okay.
I mean, if Suriel is saying it, that carries some weight with me.
So we'll kind of finish that up, and Surreal, you'll head off
As
to
I
this
head off to
Returner
see,
Institute.
yeah, I look
Lissa,
back and say, would I lie to you? Go to see Father Murata.
and Lissa will assume that you're heading off to find the Chancellor or someone else. We'll come back to you in a moment. Egther, Adek will kind of maybe do a little bit of a walk and talk here, like chatting with you. Seems like people know him around here. Like he goes over to one of the food stalls, and they hand him a platter, full of stuff, and he doesn't pay, and he comes back and uh, you know sits down. And so, how is it that you come to be here in Barcelona?
Events are transpiring here that are disturbing my associates. There have been a number of strange deaths.
I heard. Associates?
Yes, and I definitely do not elaborate.
Okay. Do you want some? Holds out the food towards you.
What kind of food is it?
Probably like some kind of meat and rice thing, maybe on some fried bread of some kind. You know, my knowledge of Spanish cuisine besides tapas is a little narrow,
Yeah,
so I don't want to
same.
go too much. But yeah, I think it's good classic street food that's
Yeah,
being
yeah, yeah.
served here.
I think, I mean, I'm still I want to kind of provoke him, so I'll just like dig in and pick out a couple of pieces of meat and feed them to God.
Are you trying to unleash the dark?
Ooh.
It seems to me like you're trying to say you're trying to provoke him.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
Unleash the Dark is about enforcing your will, and you have some choices there.
Yeah, yeah, sure. Let's do that.
How many tokens do you want to spend? How many do you have right now?
I have four right now
Okay.
since that was set by him.
Yeah.
Let me see. I want to see the low and the high.
Uh, uh,
Yeah.
did taunting him by pulling the meat out of his food he offered you, does that trigger any of your darkness triggers, you think?
Let's see. I don't think so. My only condition is despairing, and I don't think the others fit.
That's
If I had
right.
been Weeper or maybe Surreal,
Right.
maybe. I'll just spend one token on this. I think the low result is more interesting than the high
Sure.
one. But I get a 10. So
10.
uh,
Get to choose two then.
yeah. Um, I want to expose a weakness or flaw, and I think I want to avoid reprisals, harm, or cost.
I think one of the things is that this guy has a jacket on, but he doesn't have any kind of shirt on. Because he's a good looking, well built man, and he is definitely there to display that. But I think there is a bit where you see that actually when you come, he's a little more self conscious, and you can see that he has some of the tattoos that are particularly around his midsection are well, you recognize as like death markings, like like markings of uh, people who take souls, of reapers, of things like that. Uh, and I think that you can tell that he it's not that he's trying, how do I put this? He's trying to hide those from you because he that like there's something about that that he doesn't want to reveal, like that's connected to the thing he doesn't want to say to you. And I think he doesn't realize like how you're kind of manipulating the conversation and provoking him. And I think you do see him kind of do this. And I think you will see that he has sort of reaper tally marks around his midsection. And you will
Mhm.
see some symbols of your people.
Ooh. Okay. If you want to cut to someone else there where while I
Okay.
consider, that's fine.
Weeper, what are you doing? It seems like Egther. I think you can tell that Egther is I don't know, pun intended, is egging him on a little here, kind of pushing him a little.
Uh, I will assist Egther. I will wander over at the end of their conversation where Egther's pulled some of this guy's meat and fed it to his dog, and sort of from the side and say, "Ah, Food. I'm very hungry. Do you mind if I have a bite? And I would like to, the gnawing edge of hunger, surrender to the hunger within me and feed on him.
Okay. Uh, so this is out in the middle of a crowd. Keep in mind.
Yeah, because actually, if it goes well, I transform into something really quite good.
Yeah. If it goes well,
Yeah.
let's roll with that.
Spending 2 darkness tokens, leaving me
Okay.
with 2.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, that didn't go too well. 3, 4, 5. I can't bring that to an 8. I haven't got anything. So let's go with the 7 or less.
So
I lose control of the hunger completely.
you do.
You describe how I twist in an obscene and heartbreaking form.
I think that you come close to him and you felt that fire, like that fire that you felt from the coin was the fire of the Ifrit's heart.
Mm.
And like when you get close, you will feel that, like that power, that energy. What you got was just a taste of that. And now you're up next to him. And there you see Weeper kind of out of the corner of your eye come up, and you see Weeper start to glow. And then you will see Weeper's body go dark and hard like onyx or obsidian and jumps this guy. And as you kind of are twisting as this aspect of fire and death overwhelms you. And I do think that like you're standing like by a stall with some stuff on it. I think that goes up in flames. Like suddenly there's a fire that has started here. And it looks like 2 people have rolled back into this fire. Like there's a fight and somebody's knocked over, maybe somebody knocked over propane or whatever. So people can't exactly see what's going on, but it's absolute chaos there. Weeper, do me a favor and mark a ruin and a condition, Weeper.
I've marked raging.
Okay. And you are on top of this guy, trying to drain all of his energy, this last of the Afridi, this last of his race, Egther. You will see Weeper begin to try to kill him. We'll come back to you two. Lissa, do you want to? We mentioned the person who's in charge of the film track. We've mentioned the chancellor, or somebody else. Like who do you want to go and talk to?
I'd like to go talk to Chancellor Solares.
Okay. Uh, give give her a buzz and say that you want to talk to her, and she'll say, "Well, come up to my office. Absolutely, come on."
Why don't we go get a cup of coffee?
Sure, I'll meet you on the quad there. They've got a cart, and she'll come down to meet you. You can see that she kind of looks around to see if the others are around, and sees it's just you, and she'll say, "So, was it Lissa? Was it?"
Yes. Good memory. Good memory. We only met for a moment, and yet you remember my name. Your students must love you.
I do not think that they love me. But she sits down. Can we sits at a table? What can I help you with? What can I tell you? How can I fill you in on things? Your companions are very very much what they are. But you do not seem like them.
I didn't lose what I am along the way, at least not as much as they did.
I see.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
I'm pretty much exactly what I seem to be. In another life, I'd probably be going to a school just like this, the way I was before things changed for me.
Well, I won't pry. How can I help you?
There was a film being shown, and I understand that Miss Coro is running the film festival, but it was a film directed by Ordonez.
Yes, it was intended to be as I understand it, kind of a first film he had made in a long time. And we were very lucky to get him to come here to show what was apparently a rough cut of it. We have a number of his other films that he's done. Both his early horror work and his later independent cinema work. They are amongst the directors' work. We have other directors who are here, but he was kind of the big get. As I understand it, the film arrived with some other materials that Ms. Coro had received. I know this because we had a conversation about what we wanted to do with that, given Ordonez's passing. We feared it would seem exploitative to show the film given his death, but we ultimately decided to try and honor his legacy.
And this was a decision made by both you and Miss Coro?
Miss Coro came and asked me what she could do. She certainly wanted to show it, given that we had the opportunity. And I will admit that part of my intent was to try to keep things seeming as normal while you and your companions were doing your investigation, to carry on, try not to draw too much attention.
With that, I'm going to lean forward and put my hand on hers and say, trying to keep things normal that's laudable, especially when you have deaths in such unusual fashions. To be honest, I wish I was here, like just being a college student and having a normal life. And I am definitely trying to reveal my heart.
Okay, why don't you make that roll?
All right, I'm going to spend 3 darkness tokens.
Okay.
Oh, that's 3d6. And that's a 7. I would like to spend a bond with what the darkness demands of me to bring it up to an 8.
Okay. What is it you want to pick from that? Like, what do you want to get from this moment with her?
I want to grow closer and gain a bond with her.
Okay. She's like, I've talked to those returners that the father oversees, and I know the difficulty that they have in the changes, and the encounters with the supernatural and how difficult it makes for them to lead normal lives. I cannot say I understand exactly what you are going through, but I do sympathize.
And I'll smile very broadly and say, perhaps we could talk about it further. Over dinner, perhaps?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am here. I'm certainly at you and your companion's disposal.
And I'll just smile again. And I'm okay with cutting it there.
Okay.
Does that count as a moment of intimacy with someone weaker than myself?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Serial, you'll walk through these halls. This is after hours academic building kind of a thing. And you've been in those buildings when people are outside doing things and you can hear the kind of noise coming in from that. But you walk over to an area that looks like it's used to be a smaller dormitory that they've got set up for the returners like institute because these people are living on site, and there'll be a receptionist. If and do you want to ask for Father Murata to come out, or do you want to try and wander around on your own, or what do you want to do?
The trouble with asking is there's a possibility that the receptionist will say, sorry, he's not available. And so I'd much rather ghost past them, I think,
Okay.
Using the Fey powers.
Oh yeah, I think that is a casual thing.
A casual veil.
Yeah. And you will like see Father Murata's office. You'll see that the light is on, the kind of door is open there. You will see he's got his window open. And he's looking at some files, but he's doing this thing where he's clearly not supposed to smoke inside.
Oh, yes.
And he's blowing it out the window there.
I knock politely and wait to be invited in.
And he'll quickly put that out, and do this thing. Come in.
Father, I hope you don't mind me coming to see you. I appreciate it.
No, absolutely. Mr. Suriel, right?
Yes. Gath to my friends. I realize we may have got off on the wrong foot. It hadn't occurred to me that what happened in the church might have offended you. I get very focused on
you see, he goes, really?
Well, I get very focused on the case and anything that helps do the right thing is I forget sometimes about people's individual sensitivities, and I came to apologize, really.
I have been trying to put what happened into context in my own sense of the world. I hope that you gained something useful from that exercise.
Oh yes, absolutely. A big step forward, I think. Excuse me. Do you mind if I smoke?
We're really not supposed to, but and he'll gesture to the chair that's kind of close to him, that's by the open window.
Thank you. And I'll conjure a pack of cigarettes from the glamour, I guess, if just in case I don't have any, and light up. And while he's expecting me to blow the smoke out of the window, I just blow it into his face, or not in an aggressive way, but it just tends to go in that direction. And if the wind were to move in the other direction, I just nudge it, towards him. And my guess is that I notice that he notices that I'm smoking, and I see a glint in his eye, perhaps, of a desire for a cigarette, or a recollection of his own weakness.
Absolutely.
Roll for that. is that a soul venom?
What is your intent? Like, what is it you want to get out of this? Are you trying to unleash the dark?
I want to unsettle him, I think,
Okay.
a little bit, but not in an aggressive way.
Okay.
Just make
Like,
him slightly,
yeah. Then I think fictionally that doesn't require a roll. I think you
Okay.
you have already unsettled him, and I think this merely reinforces that. And he says, but what is it? What is it you want, Mister Surreal?
I just wanted any insights that you had on the victim that I assume you knew best.
Yes.
Was that Carlos?
Carlos, yes. Sastre Luis. He was an unusual one. The force which dragged him to this other world dragged him to a fantastical world, a mythical one, but it was how is it a memorpager, an online game.
Ah, I see.
And that was the trap, the device that was used by this demon, this thing that did this. This demonic entity, which called itself Mr. Grimm, granted he and his fellow players incredible powers while they were in this realm, but they had to survive in a world that was incredibly harsh, and that he was subject to being feared and exploited, and worn out. Carlos was the last of these to survive. The others faded away and died in the game. Carlos had been, when he returned, in a coma for 7 years.
Goodness. Such a long time.
There was physical evidence of him being somewhere different, marks that formed on his body. He had a relic with him when he came through. He
relic,
an object that was tied to the place he had been in, but he had to understand he had been in a game for longer than the 7 years to his mind, and he had spent those years, what is the word for it, with a different interface on the world. Like, he saw things differently. And so when he came back, he had a hard time doing normal things in a normal way. He would try to do it like it was in the game, but it didn't work. Additionally, the main thing that we were working on him for is his survivor's guilt. All the others had died, and he had lived in part because he was something of a coward. He had kept his head down. He had avoided dangers. He had done that, and so he was the only one who survived, and he was trying to deal with that.
Fascinating insight. Yes, I can imagine. In fact, I think I've known people. Maybe it's inappropriate to talk about it, but maybe I know people who've survived, and I think probably they did some bad things to survive, to be, I don't know, the last of their kind.
We struggle with that, certainly, amongst the other returners who survive. There are some who struggle with that particularly.
I think I'm at a place to grasp for a key here.
Sure. What do you want? How many do you want to spend?
Well, I still don't have any because I'm being really nice
Yeah, you are.
to people. It's getting quite difficult to sustain. You need to know.
I think that's something of the economy. Yes, go on.
Yeah, so that's a total of 4.
Total of 4. Uh, you find more than you were ready for. You may choose to mark ruin to uncover a key, but in doing so, the keeper will reveal how you come closer to becoming a harbinger.
Well, given that I have a plan that would result in me becoming a harbinger, it seems to be inevitable that I will choose to take the ruin and the key and put myself in your kindly hands again.
Let me think here. He'll say, I have the relic that came back with him if you wish me to show it to you.
Do you?
And he will go over and he will bring out this wooden box, and he pulls out a set of metal balance scales.
Mm-hmm.
And sets them. And when he sets them down, they, do this thing where they settle and become very even. And then he says, so this is how we know they're unusual. And he will take from the box a feather. And he puts the feather on one side of the scale. And when he does, that scale goes down. And then he says, push on the other side. And it will not move. That feather of that soul holds it down. That judgment, this is a device of judgment, of righteousness and of guilt, and you are not worthy.
My, that is a concern, Father.
It's a very odd object, is it not?
It is.
I
It
do not know
is.
if it's a metaphor or what. It does it. I've never been able to figure it out. You take the feather off, and the scale returns to normal. It's only when you put a feather on there that it does that, and it doesn't matter what feather.
And does it matter? You've tried to move the feather, I presume.
Yes, it's very. It gives for me, but it is challenging.
Goodness me, goodness me. Well, I thank you for this, and I found this a very healing conversation, Father.
Good, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Would it be inappropriate to ask you to pray with me?
No, absolutely, absolutely. I would be glad to.
And we kneel, and he prays, and I bow my head. And when he's finished, I say, and could we exchange the kiss of peace?
As you wish.
And he probably offers up his cheek.
Yes.
And I go full tongues.
Oh, God. Are you doing this to generate darkness tokens?
Yes.
Okay. There's
I'm sorry, Father. I'm sorry, Father. I don't do this often.
I think just please get out.
Till next time. I will take all 4 darkness tokens because I'm desperate.
Absolutely. So we've got that scales of justice in there as a key. So Egther, let's come back to you. You see Weeper go full ham on this Ifrit and lights up one of these booths, like a little bookstall booth that goes up. And luckily, it's at night, and there's fire and there's kind of chaos and people are starting to kind of stampede. What do you want to do, Egther?
Well, I was just about to jump this fridge before Weeper did. So um, I think I just want to tear him apart. He has obviously killed some of my people, and in with the despair and longing that I'm currently experiencing, that snaps over into rage.
Let us. That feels like you are unleashing the dark.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Now, didn't you get a new move that's all about kicking ass?
yeah, but that's when you go up against an opponent that is colossal and otherworldly, and I don't think that quite applies here.
No, he's otherworldly, but he's not colossal.
Yeah, yeah. But I do have some other things that relate to unleashing the dark. I'm going to take 3 darkness tokens for despair here, I
Sure.
think. Um, I have when you choose to unleash the dark, you may describe how your form changes to violence and beauty, causing those around you to despair. And I think that's going to happen. And I think also because I have a ruin move, I carry the hope of my people. You are determined to embody the beauty and terror of your people, no matter the cost. You will be beautiful, and all will look upon you with despair. When you reach deep into your ancestral memory and embody the paragon of your people, I choose, and I am going to do that. I think that's the initial thing.
Sure.
I'm going to mark 2 ruin and describe how your form changes forever, revealing more of the harbinger you may become. Permanently gain another power of darkness from any playbook. And the power I'm going to take is the many forms of mythic animals. And this is Egther taking on the form of a mythical giant hero who could shape change into a bear.
Okay.
So he becomes a gigantic, I mean, gigantic for a bear.
Yeah.
So I guess I should do the Unleash the Dark move,
Yeah.
and then we have the Reshape by
How many
Despair
tokens do
thing.
you want to spend? Let's spend up to 3.
I need to look at the thing. Here I am going to go all in. I'm fine with being rolling high here. What's the max you can spend?
3.
3. Then I'm spending 3.
Okay.
2, 6, 3. That's an 11.
That is an 11. So you will smash into him. Like, do you go through a wall? Do you smash into a van? Like what do we see tear apart here? And like, are you throwing Weeper off to get at him?
I think I'm not particularly concerned about Weeper at this moment. I
Okay.
just want to get at this. I keep forgetting his name.
Adek.
Ada. Yeah. I like if Weeper gets in the way, I'm just going to swipe him aside if I can. But if he's not in my way, then I don't.
Okay. So Weeper, I just want to check in with you before I kind of resolve the attack move here. Like, where do you want yourself to be in this? What's happening? Are you also
Well,
helping with the killing?
Yeah, I mean, I went to attack him, and my sort of abilities are close in, so I will be pretty much on him.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, he did screw me about a bit. So
So I think that there's fire, there's flames. You smash back. There was a food van back behind that's crumpled in. There's the tearing as you tear through. Weeper, you are drawing off the fire in him, and Egther, you just that smash. His body is absolutely pummeled and beaten, and maybe the fire in him would have once maybe helped him, but it's being drained out, dragged out by Weeper. And he says, as he's there kind of trying through a smashed face, he says, I I did what I could for your people. I was a reaper. When they died, I was sent on to shepherd their souls to a better place. I tried to be good, and the fire goes out and he dies.
Well done, Egther. Well done. He's been returned to the pits of hell where he came from. Well done, Egther.
Hector, what is your reaction when you realize he didn't kill any of your people?
Oh, well, I'm already despairing. I kind of can't go any. I think I look at my bloody horse at this point, and I just howl, like scream out my frustration and sorrow.
And I think we'll kind of freeze on that moment. We'll come back because I want to hear what Weeper does at that moment. But I think that's the moment Alan and Suriel has stepped out in the hall and starts hearing this commotion and screams and then howl. And Lissa, you're just finished off your coffee and you will hear that. And we're going to take our second break here and come back in the midst of that. Take 5. So screaming, people evacuating the quad out here. There's a book stall that's gone up, the van. It's hard to make out for people what's going on with you, Weeper, and Egther, and this dead Afridi guy. But there's just this chaos going on, and it's about to get worse. What do, Weeper? Especially as you hear the howl of despair from Egther.
I would like to console Egther and say, Egther, we have all done horrible things in our long lives. I'm sure this will not be the last one. Do not let it be the end of you. You are better than that. I have done horrible things. You can get over this. Believe me.
All right, let's see if you can reach him. How many tokens do you want to spend on this?
I will spend 2. Okay. Let me just adjust that down.
How and your body has been changed permanently, right?
Yeah, and I think this is his features becoming more animalistic and bestial, not like that he's permanently a bear.
Right. And Weeper, there's some, like, you're still looking like you're only now returning back to your old form, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So roll.
10.
So what is it that you want on your side from those picks? And then we'll go to Egther and see how Egther reacts.
Basic moves. Well,
Need
I'd
a
like to think
bond?
he can.
Well, this would be
No,
for
we
you.
don't.
You pick for your own side, and then he'll pick his reaction.
Yeah. Well, I think he can give me hope.
Okay. So we may clear one ruin. Egther, do you respond to that? Do you connect to that? He's trying to speak truly to you in this moment.
Yeah, and I understand what he's trying to do, but so I think we're going to deepen the connection. But what I say back to him is, I do not care that I have slain this creature. I weep because I have slain someone who could have told me more about those I have lost. He is the first I have met in uncounted years who knew one of my kind.
Well, my friend, I will help you find another that knows something. I will do that for you, brother.
Nice. Egther, what is it you want to make for your pick there?
I think grow closer. I think I gain a bond with
Okay.
Weaver.
Lissa, when you hear this explosion, this noise, this howl from Egther that you recognize it, Egther, just as you finished your coffee, what do?
I grab the chancellor and say, whatever happened, we need to investigate this, and you need to be there for your students.
And you want to drag her with you across the street over to the other quad?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's her university. She should be concerned about what's going
Absolutely.
on.
So you will rush across the street. You will see people are running, screaming. There's a big fire happening over on one of the booths, and I think you will see you can make out even as the chancellor is running to try and get security and other people organized. That Weeper and Egther are in the middle of that conflagration right now. What do you do?
Well, the fire needs to get under control. I'm going to unleash the darkness and create several tiny singularities to suck the fire in.
You mean power through the darkness, I think, because unleash the darkness against yeah, okay. Yeah, how many tokens do you want to spend?
Oh, let's see what the outcomes for these are. Yeah, let's do 3.
Okay.
Oopsie.
So that is a 12. You can mark a condition to exert better control of your powers and extinguish these fires.
I'm trying to keep what Suriel said in mind. Can I spend bonds to bring the total down?
100%. It's absolutely permitted.
Okay, and it's 1 for 1?
1 for 1. So spend 2 bonds and you can get it down to a 10, right?
All right, I will spend the 2 bonds that I have with Egther to get it to a 10.
Okay. I think that you will do that, start drawing up the fire. And I think that 2 things happen as a positive result of this. One, that I think this is going to fry every camera and cell phone and thing around here. In that there's going to be no video evidence of what has just occurred. And 2, I think Suriel, as you come up, you will see Lissa extinguish the flames with
With a series
skill.
of black holes.
Yeah, but does it closes them, sucks the flames in, and there is no collateral damage.
I think Suriel sees what he thinks he's supposed to see. He thinks he sees what he expects to see.
Okay.
And he bellows at Lissa. You idiot! What did I say? Do you not understand?
I'm going to turn and look at you and say, before you run your fucking mouth at me, why don't you go see what those two assholes just blew up that I was trying to deal with, you shithead? And I will take 4 tokens for viciousness.
Okay. And you'll take your tokens, Suriel?
I will, but I think I'll only take 2 because that was quite a strong put down.
Yeah. And I do think you look past and you see that. You see Weeper more monstrous than ever and Egther bestial out. And you know you need to get them out of here soon because with the fires gone and stuff, and once like people get their heads together, it's going to be bad.
Okay. The Chancellor's here, isn't she?
She's running around organizing people trying to get fires put out and all of that.
I look at Lissa and say, I'm sorry, get these 2 out. And I'll try to mop up here.
The fuck are you gonna mop up?
Just get them out.
I'll take 2 more for viciousness.
Okay. Suriel, what are you going to do to try and ameliorate the situation?
I think that I arrived late, so I'm hoping my phone still works.
Yeah, let's say, yeah.
And so I'm going to grab the Chancellor and we're going to go onto TikTok right now and explain what a phenomenal piece of performance art the university has staged as part of the Arts Festival.
I think I want you to.
Master?
Yeah, I think so. I think that or Lisa Dark are either one. So let's have you roll that, and then I want to come back to Weeper and Egther in the midst of this.
Okay, I will spend 3 tokens for Call Me Master. So 2d6 plus 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8.
And I will burn the bond with my followers.
You don't need to. You've got an 8.
Oh, I got an 8. I've got an 8.
Yeah.
That's true. Yes, that's true. Haha.
So I think we can read that just as you will get the situation calmed. Okay. All eyes are on you. You're talking, you're on the TikTok, you're drawing the attention of the crowd that you've calmed down. The chancellor is there. You got like that noise, you're drawing that attention, and somebody says, "Hey, it's Suriel." and then there's like cheers because if there's something's gone wrong,
let's all go outside, folks.
You move them
photobombing
onto the street, photobombing. You're moving them across to the other quad. Egther coming down off of this rush here. Weeper has kind of calmed you. You look back and you see that Lissa has extinguished this fire before it could cause more harm to others around here, to innocents. What do you do?
Think like all the fight has gone out of me, and I think I just like sit down and kind of wait for someone to take charge because I'm lost.
Okay. Weeper, you see Egther go to shut down and just like sit in the middle of this. What do you do?
I'll turn to Hector and say, Chinna, friend, God does not blame you for anything that's happened. Let us leave here before eyes turn upon us, and let us go drink. I know you like to drink. What say, friend?
Yes. A drink, yes.
Even though I can't drink myself, I will buy you a drink. And I will have 2 tokens for feel a yearning for something I cannot have.
Nice. So Hector, if you want Weeper, if you allow him to, he will move you off from the scene, like into the shadows where you can't get. I mean, some of this monstrousness is going to stay with you, but you can at least dial it down a bit. Uh, Lissa, you see Weeper and Hector like get out to a calm place. Surreal has this situation under control. What do you want to do?
I think at this point, I'm probably tired from the control that I had to exert. So I think I just kind of slumped down against a tree or something. Like, because we're on a quad, there's got to be trees out there.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to slump down against a tree and take a deep breath. Actually, I'm going to take a lot of deep breaths.
Okay.
And I'll try to catch the Chancellor's eye when she's a little less busy.
I think she's going to be tied up with getting the story right on this for quite a while here. The Garda Civil will arrive, ambulances. There's some people that were injured in the stampede. I know, of course, there's news people here. Soon afterwards, it's described as, a piece of performance art that got out of hand. People are interviewing Surreal, all of that kind of thing. And I do want to, Lissa, I don't know if you want to try and grasp a key here, since you haven't had a chance to really do that today while you're doing that, or are you trying to will you go and assist with Suriel and the Chancellor, or will you go and follow Weeper and Egther? What do you think?
I think grasping for a key sounds good.
Okay. How many tokens do you want to spend? You've got a bunch.
I do indeed. I need to spend 3.
Yes, you do.
That'll get me down to that nice 4 number. Oof. All right. Let me see what I have in terms of bonds. Surreal's here. I've got 2 bonds with Surreal. I'll burn them both to bring that to an 8.
Yeah, you're kind of like Suriel. How much of it is it that you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of Suriel, and how much is it that Suriel is kind of lifting up your spirits?
It's that Surreal's hogging all of the attention and I can relax.
Absolutely.
I mean, Egther and Weeper are out of here. I might still have a dinner date. And Surreal is off being an influencer, apparently. So I can actually chill for the first time in quite some time. Nobody's yelling at me. I'm not in trouble for fucking anything up or hurting somebody that I shouldn't hurt. This is actually kind of nice.
You will kind of look around, and you can see that, I mean, people rushed around in the chaos of this and things, and there's kind of debris all around here, and you will see that there is a like leather valise, like a little thing, and you kind of pick that up and you'll open it up and look inside, and you will see that it is a stack of transparencies.
Mm. Like for an overhead projector?
Yeah. But you look at them and you're looking through, and they are they are transparencies of maps, of drawings, of sketches of maps, but they don't look like they're sketches of maps or for any place that you've ever heard of.
Somebody's willing to Borges here.
So yes, you are deep in the labyrinth here. So yeah, we'll see that you kind of flip through those and see that, and that'll be the clue that you will get.
Okay.
Suriel, I want to give you a capper on this scene here, and then I want to come back to Weeper and Egther and give them a chance to do a kind of a capper on this. What
Well,
is it that you want to do here?
I think I need to resort to the move. When you take this move, create a bond public. Once per scene, choose. Describe how you compromise in a significant way to please the public, gain one bond with them, or describe how a fan reaches out to you to remind you why your work at the division is important. Clear one condition.
What do you want?
I think it's the second one. I think when all this happening, some wide-eyed student comes up to me and says, thank you for all you do.
It's actually the chancellor.
Oh,
that comes over and says, I have to thank you so much. I was talking with Lissa before and so on, and I followed your work with Division. I didn't want to say anything before. I was embarrassed by this. I didn't want to fangirl out in front of everyone here, but I just I'm so glad you were here. If it hadn't been for you, this could have been a real tragedy. I'm just so glad that Division sent you.
and Cyril looks at her, and there's that kind of he had plans for the Chancellor tonight, but she just cleared lustful for him. And so I think he looks across the quad at Lissa under a tree, and maybe Lissa is looking across thinking, "Oh, the bastard."
Yes, certainly in the chat she is.
And so I say, "Thank you very much." Go talk to Lissa.
And you we can tell that maybe you've dialed things back there. But then there's a swarm of people who want to get their photos taken with you.
And such is the cost of charisma and fame.
Weeper, Egther, I like to imagine that you found one of those bars with outdoor tables where you can kind of sit, where like one of the lights has gone off and you can sit on the kind of the darkened table in the corner, and the waitress is creeped out by you but takes your order and brings you what you want to drink. What do we see? Like, what's Egther's, like, where are they at now? Now you've had a few drinks, you've been able to relax, you're sitting there with Weeper. Some of this has let go. What do we see?
I think he is drinking very heavily just to try to blank out what just happened. He is, I think, like very methodically drinking heavy liquor, just to hard liquor, just to lose himself in the drink.
Absolutely. That seems reasonable. You have to drink a lot, don't you?
Yeah, Yeah, not cheap, but
Is Egther a beer drinker, or are you a hard liquor drinker? Like, what is it you drink? Or are you drinking wine?
at this time it's hard liquor. It's
Okay.
like vodka or whatever they have. That's yeah.
And Weeper, what do we see you doing? Like, what is your attitude here? What are you thinking when Egther is just slamming this back?
Um, I will have a glass of red wine in front of me. I won't
Mm-hmm.
drink it.
Oh, now that's weird. You go to a bar and you order a drink and you don't drink it.
Yeah, what kind of
What
weirdo
what
does
what a giveaway that
that?
something's off.
Yeah, that's wrong, Egther. You want to smash me right now with your hammer? That's just not right. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't want to dwell any more really on the situation, but yeah, I'll just carry on with what I was doing,
Okay.
reinforcing that he's not done anything. I don't really want to action a move.
All
I
right,
just want
right.
to
No.
reinforce that he's not done anything wrong. That's part of us, who we are. Every now and then, you lose control. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
It feels like a good pull out on that scene. Eggs are drinking, you talking him down, that conversation, and that's where we're going to stop. I think to take up next time, sort of in the aftermath of this, in the meta, we have 6 keys on the table, uh, which means, I mean, you can roll with up to a +3, just in terms of that, or earlier. You don't necessarily have to connect all the keys. So, if you get more keys than you need, but I would like to aim for us at the very latest in that last hour of next session to kind of be rolling into our open the door to kind of figure out the shape of this mystery. Does that sound cool? Let's go and do the end of session check-ins with everybody. Go over stuff. Lissa, we know that you hit your playbook XP trigger.
So there's one.
There's one. Did you express your monstrous nature and or your humanity?
I think I did both.
Yeah, so I'll give you an XP for that. Definitely. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I learned that sometimes I'm not the fuck up in this crew, which feels kind of important.
That seems. So yeah, give an XP. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
I learned that Weeper, from my point of view, really learns to know when to keep his mouth shut.
Okay.
Alternately, Weeper really believes in confession and talking to priests. So, however you want to put it.
Interesting. And you did uncover a key, so you don't mark ruin.
Which is kind of unfortunate. I don't think I marked ruin once this session.
Ooh. Next up is Egther, I believe. Egther, do we hit your playbook XP trigger, your one you chose?
I had picked. Did you find an innocent target for your grief, despair, or fear?
Oh, yes, you did.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
most assuredly. Did you express your monstrous nature? We don't need to go any further with that question. Mark an
Yeah.
XP. Do you think you learned something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I am not as in control of myself as I thought I was.
Okay. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Yeah, I learned that Weeper is actually at least seems to be actually interested in trying to comfort me, which was something I had not.
I like that. So mark an XP for that. That brings us to Weeper. Weeper, did we hit your playbook trigger?
I didn't get a key, so I guess I get a
Oh, yeah,
ruin,
you do
which
get a ruin.
is
On the meta level, I definitely want to make sure that next time we give you like first bite at the apple to do that, because you kind of started into that, and then we had that wonderful conversation with the character that was so good, and we didn't end up like playing out that. So I want to make sure that early on we give you the opportunity to grasp a key. We'll
cool.
make a note of that.
It's fine. I didn't want to undercut because that was kind of Weeper's thing that I was kind of going in on, but
Yeah, no,
it's
it's good,
fine.
generous play on your part. I appreciate that. Yeah.
I get a ruin advance now, so that's fine.
Ooh, there you go. Weeper, playbook specific trigger.
Did you protect somebody pure and beautiful? I don't know if that NPC counted as pure or beautiful.
I don't
The
think
one
so.
that was taken, then fine. Unless Agatha does, but I didn't really protect him. So no, don't think so. Next one.
Express your monstrous nature and or humanity. I think your monstrous nature, most certainly. For a point. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I don't think so, really. No,
Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
definitely from Agatha.
Yeah.
Learned a lot of things, from him.
Yeah, I
So
think you
yeah,
saw a lot more of him there. Yeah, so
yeah, bit of a different side.
yeah. And you did grasp a key, so you don't mark ruin. Surreal. Playbook trigger.
Sorry. Yes, I think I taunted and or sought to seduce Father Murata.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That feels appropriate. Did you express your monstrous nature?
Both
And
it and the human today, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. Did you learn something significant about yourself and or your impending ruin?
I'm not sure that I did.
Yeah. Did you learn something significant about a fellow monster?
Yes. Yeah, Lissa may not be the problem here.
Perfect. So mark that XP, and you did gain a key, so you don't have to mark ruin. I would like to do stars and wishes, if you don't mind. I'm going to do that same order. Lissa, can I start with you?
Absolutely. So Paul, I really liked Weeper's attempt to reach out to Lissa, even though she wasn't really in a receptive mood. I really appreciate how you're playing Weeper as this very prayerful, devout collection of maggots that generally tries to help people and in some strange ways is showing more humanity than any of us, even though you're kind of a sentient collection of maggots. So it's nice. I like I like that juxtaposition, and I thought that you did a really outstanding job of it today. Um, Alan, Surreal is a piece of work and a half. I think my favorite thing was when Surreal was trying to make out with the priest. Uh, that was certainly a choice. Um, you know, nice, good for you. And then Egther or Andish. Um, I really, I can't really say enjoy watching the scene between you and Adek where you started to kill him, but it was really powerful and moving when you realized what you had done and the consequences of that. So, like I said, I don't think enjoyed is the right word for it, but appreciated the play, shall we say. And Lowell, thanks for dragging us all through the mud and then just like, having a nice hard rain falling on us so we're thoroughly miserable. That was great. I love the GMing that you're doing in these sessions.
Good. Wishes?
More disaster. Make it worse.
Okay. Egther.
Yeah. A star to you for being so cruel with Adek. That was perfect. I love that. And to Paul, pretty much the same thing that Puckett said for reaching out and trying to be a positive influence, which um, I think it's uh, interesting that we're kind of trading off on trying to be uh, different characters at different times are trying to be a positive influence on the group as a whole, and other times where we take the turn to be the disaster and just uh, crash everything. So yeah, and same for Alan and Puckett, um, for yeah, pretty much the same thing. Having those be to be willing to play towards both of those uh, different poles. It's been I think all the scenes were interesting to uh, to participate in or to observe.
Wishes?
Um, no, just
Okay.
see where everything goes.
Fair enough. Paul?
Yeah, some great play tonight, and I think everybody flipped it up a bit. Puckett from normally going straight for the disaster, but I think you tried really hard. You burnt a lot of bonds to avoid a lot of disaster, so that was nice to see. I think as Andish said there, how weak some people flick. Definitely myself. So that was nice to see. Yeah, Alan, takes a lot to outgross me. Normally, I try to be the gross master, but tongue and a priest, that's pretty low, my friend. That's pretty low. uh, and this, the sort of despair. When you did kill him, I thought, I could actually feel it. I thought that was very, very good. And I was more than happy to play sort of setting the fiddle to that. Lowell, keeps it rolling all the time. Nice to see. Wishes. To be honest, I'm not here next week. I'm in Stavanger.
Oh.
So, as long as I don't die, that's about the only wish.
Okay. All right. Are you there on Sunday?
I am.
Okay,
I fly on Monday.
Yeah. Okay, all right. And Serial.
Is there a song called "Don't Kill the Weeper"? No. There's something about there's a track in my head. I can hear that music, but I can't.
Blue Oyster Cult.
Yeah.
Don't fear
yes.
the Weeper.
Don't fear the
Reaper. Yeah.
Anyway,
more
sorry.
cowbell, Alan.
More cowbell.
God, I knew that was coming.
So stars. Weeper as on-site counselor, I think is
And
great.
I want to point out, by the way, everyone has talked about the positive parts of Weeper. No one has mentioned that Weeper kicked off the murder spree and the fire. Like I love that. I love how that has gotten alighted in the discussion here.
Well, he's a monster. We're highlighting the light and dark.
Fair enough.
No, if you want to go monstrous, let me just chew this coin and see what I can make of it.
Yeah.
That'll do. Thank you. Egther, not the pussycat that we thought he was, and I think we are talking here about eons of suppressed rage, cracking through the rocky exterior where they've been nailed down for eons, for millennia. From righteous indignation at the filmmaker, Puckett for Lisa, that kind of, I am going to make him pay for what he did to those people. I don't care if he's dead. I'm going to make him pay. That's righteous indignation, I tell you. Mm-hmm. And thanks for leaning into the serial pitching at mentor-mentee and ending up a shouty teacher. So thank you for leaning into that. I appreciate it. And for, you know, mechanically spending to keep a lid on it, which is tremendous.
Yeah.
And Lowell, the way that you described the film, the more I thought about it, lots of it could apply to any one of us, in the sense of, you know, we're all hiding stuff, we're all burying stuff, we all have, you know, stuff in our backgrounds. So I whether that was deliberate or I don't know, but I thought it was a very sophisticated bit of narrative. And I suppose that has made me think that maybe I did learn something more about myself. A friggin' filmmaker knows my history.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's right. And your reaction was to hide, like you immediately went to hiding that. So
so I think I'll give myself another XP for that. It's okay.
yeah.
No, I mean, I thought this session was stonking. I thought we saw lots of different shades of lots of different characters. So thank you.
Amazing. Anything wishes wise?
No, not really.
Okay.
I would like to see Egtha, you know, grasp a key, because I think that would only be fair.
Right.
And I suppose I'm curious every time which way Lissa is going to roll. So it's not a wish; it's just a continuing fascination.
Yeah.
And we'll miss you. We'll miss you, Paul, because
Yeah.
I think without Weeper, I can't imagine how we're going to survive. How we're going to get on.
It will be interesting to see. Thank you all very much. I am going to stop the recording.